Shall I share the PPT?
Uh, First of all, very good morning to all of you. Now we are starting our first lectures on webinar series of semiconductor and its application. So our first expert lecture is Ms. Purvi H. Patel. She is in lecturer in physics at Dr. Gandhi College, Surat, and today she will deliver us basic of semiconductor. She has around 10 years of experience to teaching at various level. Uh, she has done his masters from the MS University of Baroda, and she is now doing his PhD from the same university. She has published the several papers also. She has taught at graduation level also and at a diploma level also. So today we will discuss around about the basics of semiconductor. Hope you all will enjoy the webinar lectures and maybe found something or learn something new things uh, which will help you in the next in engineering futures also. So right now I'm hand over to Ms. Purvi Patel. Madam, you can continue your lectures.
Okay. Thank you, Gaurang sir. Very good morning to all participants, both faculty members as well as my dear students. Students from different districts of Gujarat as well as from the other district than other states of the India. Uh, Gaurang sir has already introduced myself, but let me introduce myself again. I am Purvi Patel. I'm lecturer in physics at General Department, Gandhi College, Surat. Uh, and first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Gaurang Patel sir for organizing this web series on semiconductors and its application. I also thank Mr. S.L. Thoriani sir and V.N. Makwana sir for being a valuable part of this web series. So we will start with today we are going to discuss about basics of semiconductors. So you rather think that why semiconductors? Why we are studying semiconductors and why we are teaching you the semiconductors? These are the semiconductors uh, which we use in our routine life. Diodes, which are useful for rectification. Basically, I'm not describing all the features of the components in brief. Okay, transistor. Using transistor, what would we do? We will amplify the signals. Either it is electrical signal or it is a digital signal. Transistor concept is very useful for this. And sensors, sensoring device. We all are affected by COVID-19 from last some months. So basically, uh, for diagnosis or screening of the COVID, we are using thermal sensor, thermal screening. Medical practitioners doing for screening. These are also semiconductors. Many more sensors like gas sensor, light sensors, and many more sensors are there. Even smoke detectors are there. So sensors are composed of semiconductors, microphones. In this lockdown, we have used our computers and mobile phones or smartphones. They are not possible without the semiconductors. I have shown here FETs. It is one type of transistor, which is also used for switching and transiting the signals, electrical as well as digital. So, uh, in this lockdown, we have bulkly used semiconductors for making comfort of our life at home. I hope you all have been at home and you are safe at your home. So let's move ahead. This is the plan of my lecture. I'm going to discuss about the basic atomic structure, which you have already studied in your schooling. Then we will continue it with the energy bands. And from the energy bands, we are describing the types of materials like conductors, insulators. And our topic of the day, semiconductors. We'll discuss the types of semiconductors using which we are going to establish its constructions as well as its applications. Then we'll talk about the conduction of electricity in semiconductor, and then the effect of temperature or the parameters which are affecting the conductivity of the semiconductors. So this is the atomic structure. You can see over here that in nucleus there are positively charged proton and neutrally charged neutron are there, and in its orbit there are number of electrons, specific number of electrons with their specific energy, specific and discrete energy. Each electron in each shell or its own orbit have discrete energy. According to Pauli's exclusion principle, no two electrons can have same energy. This is the most important thing we need to recall or remember. You can see in the slide over there on the right hand side that there are shells. I have mentioned three shells. First shell is K shell, second L, and third M shell. We will discuss about it in next slides of mine. Here, the atomic structure of silicon atom. You can see over here. In first shell, there are two electrons. You have already studied in your schooling that in the first shell, there are two electrons, then 8 electrons, and so on. As per the atomic number, there will be number of electrons in different shells. Uh, Here I have chosen silicon as it's a semiconductor. There are 4 electrons revolving in the last orbit. And what is the last orbit? We'll see in next slides. But keep in mind that 4 electrons are called valence electrons. And each electrons in valence orbit have discrete energies. No a single atom has same energy as the other one in the same orbit. So keep in mind that the atomic structure of any atom will continue for the semiconductors. Will describe types of material based on energy bands. You forget the graph which I have mentioned. We'll describe it in next slides. But just keep in mind that there are 3 types of material based on energy bands: insulators, semiconductors, and conductors. We all know about the insulators and conductors. In Gujarati or Hindi, we call it Vahak and Avahak. We know that. And we have very clear idea regarding insulator and conductor. That insulator or Vahak, they cannot conduct electricity. Various conductor can conduct electricity easily. Semiconductor is in between them. We'll discuss in about it later, but just it's a brief that we know about the conducting material, that insulators and conductors. But we need to know about the energy bands. What does it mean by energy bands? In earlier slide, we have mentioned that the type of materials based on energy bands. But what does it mean by energy bands? An energy band is the range of electron in solid which appears to be continuous. I have earlier mentioned that each electron in an orbit has discrete energy. So on the right hand side image, you can see that atom in solid. There is valence band, forbidden band, and conduction band. Valence band is showing a number of discrete lines. Each line shows the energy of the particular atom, particular electron in this particular orbit. And the and conduction band also, you can say the continuous lines of energy levels, and it will show the energy of each electron in uh, your energy level or in orbit. So we'll continue with the energy band that we have mentioned in earlier slide about valence band, forbidden energy gap or band gap, and conduction band, which was described by the energy band theory. So move ahead. I'm repeating the same slide which will describe that valence band is the specific energy level of the electrons, which I have already mentioned you. And conduction band define the energy levels in any crystalline solid which partially filled with electrons. See, have energies which are different, but in conduction band they are not like valence band. They are not bound with the nucleus, but in valence band electrons we have discrete energies of electrons. But conduction band, there are free electrons. We can take part in the conduction of electricity. We'll see it in next slides. So we have already discussed about valence band and conduction band. You can see that valence band electrons are jumping in conduction band. But in between there is band gap. You can see that there is no any kind of electrons or holes in band gap. Band gap is nothing but it is the energy value which is necessary for electron to move in conduction band. So you can see over here in this slide, we can see that the electrons after acquiring energy of band gap, the energy of band gap is nothing else but the energy difference between the conduction band and valence band. With variation in temperature, you can say that valence band electron is acquiring energy and jumping to the conduction band. Okay, here is something energy band level in semiconductors like in silicon. Energy band gap is 1.1 electron volt. Means if silicon atom or silicon electrons acquire 1.1 electron volt energy, it can jump in the valence band. After acquiring 1.1 electron volt energy, uh, semiconductor silicon will gain characteristic of conductor. Semiconducting material will become an uh, sorry, semiconductor material will behave like a conducting material. Same as germanium will get the energy of zero point 0.7 electron volt and it can behave like a conductor. So we'll briefly discuss about the insulators and conductors. Insulators are the materials uh, which cannot flow electric current. It is opposite of conductors, and energy band gap value of the insulator is more than 3 electron volts. In normal condition it is not possible for any material to gain 3 electron volt energy and jump into the valence band. Conductors are the material which have almost no energy band, and in some cases conductors have overlapping of valence band and conductor band. So this is just briefing, but we will have more concentration on semiconductors, so we will go to the energy band gap of semiconducting material. So before going to the semiconductor, you can guess that I have described some materials or elements over here. You can see, and you can tell me that which one are conductors and insulators. So you can share with me, and we'll discuss it in next slide. Okay. Some bulk of conductor and insulator I have again repeated that wood, toothpick, cardboard strips, rubber bands, tulips, etc. are insulators. Conductors like aluminum, lead, nickel, nail keys, which we are aware of. But I have mentioned pencil over here, which can be considered as insulator and conductor both. Can anybody tell me that what is the reason for placing pencil over there? Any guesses? Okay. So you can send your answer in chat box, and I will solve your query in next slides when I get the time for it. Okay. So we'll move ahead. Okay. After discussing of conductors and insulator, we'll have our topic of the day. It's semiconductor. Semiconductors are the material which can conduct more than that of insulating, and it can conduct less than the metals like conductors, and it is possible by two ways. Either we can use pure semiconductor, or we can use compound semiconductors. What does it mean by pure and compound semiconductor? We'll discuss in the types of semiconductor, which is in the next slides. So types of semiconductors are intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. I told about pure semiconductors. Pure semiconductors, mainly we consider silicon and germanium as pure semiconductor, whereas extrinsic semiconductor are the N-type and P-type of semiconductors. What is the difference? Would you please keep yourself in mute, please? Okay, thank you. Intrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductors are the pure form of semiconductors like pure silicons, pure germaniums. And at absolute zero temperature, these semiconductors behaves as insulator. But at room temperature, they will conduct the current. Now, it's extrinsic semiconductor. We'll use dopant like trivalent and pentavalent impurities to pure semiconductors, and it will form p-type and n-type of semiconductor. So intrinsic semiconductors are something like this. We have two main semiconductors you can see in this slide, that nucleus have 14 protons and bulk of neutrons, and uh, in orbits you can see electrons revolving, and there are four electrons revolving in valence band, which is the most important characteristic of the semiconductors. In right hand side you can see the germanium. Both silicon and germanium have the same characteristic, that both have 4 electrons in the valence orbit, and both behaves as insulator in at absolute zero means ke 0 degree Kelvin temperature, whereas at room temperature, what happens at room temperature? It gets sufficient energy for thermal excitation. In case of thermal excitation, the electrons will get energy and try to jump in the valence band, uh, from valence band to conduction band, and the temperature must be less than the melting point of the particular material or element, that it should not melt at the temperature, because at room temperature it is sufficient energy to jump the valence electrons from valence band to conduction band, so that it can contribute itself in conduction of electricity. And it is true in case of both silicon and germanium. Here, the next part, extrinsic semiconductors. There are two types of extrinsic semiconductor, N-type semiconductors and P-types of semiconductors. What does it mean by extrinsic semiconductors? Extrinsic semiconductors, we are adding some dopants. There must be pentavalent or trivalent dopants. I have described over here N type of semiconductors. I have added, or normally for extrinsic semiconductor, what happens that in pure semiconductor, impurities of uh, pentavalent uh, element are added or doped, and it will form N type of semiconductor. How that we'll discuss in next slides. And P type of semiconductor will add the impurities of trivalent impurities in pure semiconductor. We discuss both type of the semiconductors in next slides, so you can understand betterly that what does it mean by extrinsic semiconductors, what are the N type of semiconductors and P type of semiconductors. So first I have mentioned earlier about doping, but what does it mean by doping in semiconductor? Doping is the process of creating extrinsic semiconductors by adding atoms of impurities to intrinsic semiconductors. What does it mean by it? You can see in left hand side array of silicon atoms. Next, in center, you can see the N type of semiconductor, where uh, and you can see on the top that symbols of silicon, electron, phosphorus, and borons. Phosphorus is pentavalent impurities. Means pentavalent means it has 5 electrons in its valence orbit. So what happened? You can see in the uh, N type of semiconductor where phosphorus is mentioned over there. You can see here around phosphorus, instead of after pairing of electrons, you can see an extra electron beside the phosphorus atom, and this electron will behave as negatively charged particle. Electron itself is a negative charged particle, and in case of N type of semiconductor, when I doped silicon or germanium with N type of semiconductor, there will be majority charge carrier of electrons, and electrons are N type of negatively charged particles, so this semiconductor will be N type of semiconductor. Same way, in case of P type semiconductor, we are adding borons, that is trivalent impurities in silicon, and there will be lack of one electron over here. You can see by y, which is mentioned in white dot. We'll call the white dot as hole, uh, and we'll discuss about it in the next slides. But the holes are the lack of or deficiency of electron. This hole or this deficiency has a tendency or characteristics of positively charged particle, but it is not positively charged. It has characteristic of attracting electrons, but it will behave like a positively charged particle, but it is not a particle, it's just a concept. It is just showing the energy and characteristic to attract negative charge particles. So um, by varying the doping, we can change the characteristic of semiconductor. What is the benefits of semiconductor? Using the semiconductors, we can change the property, conducting property of the material. We know that we don't need always to conduct electricity in same pattern. But using semiconductor, we can vary the characteristic of our desire. We can increase or decrease the conductivity of the material by doping of different types of element and different quantity. The doping can be varied in two ways, by quantity that I have mentioned in this slide, that weakly doped silicon crystal or highly doped silicon crystal. Silicon crystal means you can consider it as semiconductor. If in case of silicon, if we add only a single atom to 10 to power 9 silicon atoms, it will be weakly doped silicon crystal or weakly doped uh, extrinsic semiconductor. But if I doped semiconductor with of one foreign atom with 10 to power 3 silicon atom or semiconductor atom, it will be highly doped semiconductor or highly doped extrinsic semiconductor. And as per our requirement, we can vary the doping concentration. So I think doping is clear to you all. So we'll move ahead. What does it mean by Hall? Hall is absence of electron in particular place in atom. Uh, in earlier slide, we have also seen that uh, when we add impurities to pure semiconductor, when we add impurities of pentavalent, trivalent impurities in uh, intrinsic semiconductor, then what will happen? That silicon has 4 electrons and the impurities have 3 electrons in its valence orbit. The pairing of uh, electrons would be like this. Covalent bond will be create between them, and there will be a deficiency of an electron over here. There is a lack of an electron. So this absence of an electron is called Hall. Hall is not a particle, as I have already mentioned, but it can, and you can see in the top right that electron is jumping and leaving a free space which is called holes. It has tendency to attract electrons, and it is behaving like a positively charged particle, but it is not a particle. Keep in mind that it is just a concept. So using the concept of Hall, we'll discuss about the p type of semiconductors, that when we add trivalent impurities to intrinsic pure semiconductor like silicon or germanium, what will happen? That covalent bond, complete covalent bonds are seen in case of 3. See, we have added aluminum, a trivalent impurities in silicon, and you can see that 3 electron pairs are over there, but 1 electron pair is incomplete. Three covalent complete bonds you can see over here, but one incomplete covalent bonding is there. Presence of hole will tell us that when we when we talk about p type of semiconductors, by uh, adding trivalent impurities like boron, gallium, indium, aluminum, we'll get p type of semiconductor, and we are obtaining holes in each cases. Then the whole semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor, will have majority charge carriers as hole, which are positively charged particles. Positively charged, and minority carriers are electrons. So it is called p type of semiconductor since it has majority charge carriers are holes. Now we'll talk about n type of semiconductors. Gaurang sir, um, okay, and sorry, n type of semiconductors. Semiconductors semiconductors are doped with pentavalent impurities like phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, or bismuth. Pentavalent impurities means the impurities in which valence orbit has 5 electrons. In this case, you can see in the uh, image that arsenic impurities are added, and beside the arsenic atom you can see free electrons so that the majority charge carriers in n type of semiconductors would be electrons, which are negatively charged particles, and hence this extrinsic semiconductor is called n type of semiconductor. In this, majority charge carriers are electrons and minority charge carriers are holes. You can see the extra electrons beside the arsenic atom when it is doping with silicon. You can see that. Visualize the free electrons. So we can compare n type and uh, p type of semiconductor. That in n type of semiconductor, pentavalent impurities are uh, added or doped in with intrinsic semiconductor, while trivalent impurities are added with uh, intrinsic semiconductor in p type of semiconductors. In n type of semiconductor, majority charge carriers are electron, while in p type of semiconductors, majority charge carriers are holes. Uh, Vice versa, minority charge carrier will be different. In n type of semiconductor, minority carriers are holes, while in p type of semiconductor, minority carriers are electrons. In n type and p type, Fermi levels are moving differently. In n type of semiconductor, Fermi levels are near the conduction band, while in p type of semiconductors, the Fermi level is near the valence band. Okay, so I got a message that I should speak in Hindi. I'm sorry, and I think little bit being in hurry. Sorry. So okay, I will summarize whole the slides. So you can have overview of the whole lecture. We'll start in N-type and P-type semiconductors comparison. N-type सेमीकंडक्टर जो होते हैं उसमें हम ऐड कर रहे हैं पेंटावेलेंट इम्प्योरिटीज. पेंटावेलेंट इम्प्योरिटीज क्या होती है कि उसकी जो वैलेंस ऑर्बिट होते हैं उसमें 5 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होते हैं. एन टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स में हम उसे ऐड करते हैं so that we can get an extra electron which is unpaired with the covalent bond. जबकि पी टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर में क्या होता है कि वी आर एडिंग और डॉपिंग ट्राइवेलेंट इम्प्योरिटीज. ट्राइवेलेंट इम्प्योरिटीज क्या होते हैं कि जिसके वैलेंस बैंड के अंदर 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होते हैं. तो 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होते हैं जो सिलिकॉन के 4 और जो वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन है उसके साथ बॉन्डिंग करते हैं. और एक जो इलेक्ट्रॉन होता है इंट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर का वो अनपेयर्ड रहता है. वो किसी भी इलेक्ट्रॉन के साथ बॉन्डिंग नहीं कर रहा है. इट इज अनपेयर्ड. और वो जो अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन जो होता है वो बिहेव करता है एज अ पॉजिटिव चार्ज पार्टिकल, बट इट इज नॉट अ पॉजिटिव चार्ज. और वो जो है उसको हम हॉल बोलते हैं. तो पी टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर के अंदर मेजोरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स हॉल्स होते हैं, जबकि एन टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स के अंदर मेजोरिटी चार्ज कैरियर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होते हैं. और उससे उल्टा हो जाता है माइनॉरिटी कैरियर्स में कि एन टाइप सेमीकंडक्टर हो या पी टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर, दोनों केस के अंदर हॉल्स और इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दोनों ही होते हैं. बस उसका कंटेंट जो होता है वो ज्यादा कम होता है. एन टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स में इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ज्यादा होते हैं, हॉल्स कम होते हैं. पी टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स के अंदर हॉल्स ज्यादा होते हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कम होते हैं. फर्मी लेवल जो होता है वो क्या होता है कि इट इज प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ बीइंग इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. इलेक्ट्रॉन जिस लेवल में रहने की पॉसिबिलिटी ज्यादा से ज्यादा रहेगी उसको हम फर्मी लेवल बोलेंगे, जो एन टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर मटेरियल के अंदर कंडक्शन बैंड के अंदर में के नजदीक होगा, जबकि पी टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर में वो वैलेंस बैंड के नजदीक होगा. सो we'll discuss about temperature dependence of conductivity. कोई भी मटेरियल होता है कि जो सेमीकंडक्टर है तो उसके अंदर हमने देखे कि 2 टाइप्स ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टिंग मटेरियल है, इंट्रिंसिक एंड एक्सट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर्स. जो इंट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर है उसकी कंडक्टिविटी है वो टेम्परेचर बढ़ते ही with increase in temperature its conductivity will increase. And in extrinsic semiconductor conductivity will decrease with increase in temperature. Means that extrinsic semiconductor will behave more like conductors. एक्सट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर है वो सामान्य वाहक जो होते हैं उसकी तरह ही बिहेव करते हैं कि विथ इंक्रीज इन टेम्परेचर वो थर्मल ऑसिलेशंस जो है वो बढ़ जाते हैं. उसकी वजह से प्रोपोगेशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी और करंट जो है वो कम हो जाता है. मोबिलिटी ऑफ करंट विल डिक्रीज, सो कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ चार्ज और करंट विल डिक्रीज. So conduction in semiconductor will take place in 2 ways, by drifting or by diffusion. What does mean by drifting? Drifting is the motion of charge due to the force exerted on them by electric field. अगर हम किसी भी सेमीकंडक्टर को वोल्टेज सप्लाई के साथ कनेक्ट कर देते हैं तो उसके अंदर जो चार्ज का कंडक्शन होता है उस प्रोसेस को हम बोलेंगे ड्रिफ्टिंग. और हम कोई एक सेमीकंडक्टर मटेरियल है को प्लेस करते हैं, पर उसके अंदर के जो मटेरियल्स है, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होल्स है, उसका जो कंडक्शन होता है, वी आर नॉट अप्लाइंग एनी एक्सटर्नल फोर्स, बट सेमीकंडक्टर्स हैज दिस स्पेसिफिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, जिसको हम डिफ्यूजन बोलेंगे, कि सेमीकंडक्टर मटेरियल के अंदर हॉल और इलेक्ट्रॉन्स का जो कंडक्शन होता है उसको हम डिफ्यूजन बोलेंगे. ओ what would happen if somehow I diffuse p type and n type of semiconductors? You continue the thinking, and I think I should summarize with some basic ideas. We'll go. हमने सबसे पहले एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर है उसके बारे में बात करी.
Purvi madam,
हाँ हाँ सर.
one of the attendants or participants asked about the trivalent impurity. So please tell them.
Okay, thank you sir. We are discussing about trivalent impurities. Trivalent impurities, when trivalent impurities are added in pure semiconductors like silicon and germanium, we all know that there are 4 electrons in valence orbit of any semiconductors. If we doped it with impurities of trivalent atoms like borons, gallium, indium, aluminum, etc. All these impurities have 3 electrons in their valence orbit. When we dop the, you can see, I don't have animation of it, but you can see in this slide that if I dop silicon with aluminum, there is covalent bond between the valence electrons of silicon and aluminum. But one silicon atom is remain unpaired, since the beside aluminum atom have already 3 electrons which are bond with the other silicon atoms. जो अल्यूमिनियम की ट्राईवैलेंसी जो है उसके वैलेंस ऑर्बिट है उसमें इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं ऑलरेडी दूसरे उसके बिसाइड में जो भी सिलिकॉन एटम्स है सेमीकंडक्टर्स के, तो उसके साथ उसका कोवैलेंट बॉन्डिंग हो चुका है. पर एक्सट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर के अंदर और भी सिलिकॉन्स और इंट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर्स होंगे जो अनपेयर्ड रहेंगे. ट्राईवैलेंट इंप्योरिटीज जो है उसका मतलब क्या है कि उसके वैलेंस ऑर्बिट के अंदर सिर्फ 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहेंगे. जो 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन है उसका पेयरिंग सिलिकॉन के साथ या इंट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर्स के साथ हो जाता है, और एक जो इलेक्ट्रॉन का जो डेफिशिएंसी है वो रहेगा बिसाइड सिलिकॉन एटम के साथ उसका पेयरिंग नहीं है. तो फिर ये जो बॉन्डिंग है वो इनकम्प्लीट रहेगा, विच विल क्रिएट प्रेजेंस ऑफ हॉल, और वो एक पॉजिटिवली चार्ज पार्टिकल के जैसे बिहेव करेगा. कीप इन माइंड दैट इट इज नॉट अ पॉजिटिवली चार्ज पार्टिकल, बट इट हैज टेंडेंसी टू अट्रैक्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. वो जो ब्लैंक स्पेस रहा है यहाँ पे उसको हम एक्वायर करने के लिए, इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्वायर करने की टेंडेंसी रहती है, जिसकी और इम्प्योरिटीज हम ऐड करेंगे तो एक पी टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर बनेगा, क्योंकि उसमें मेजॉरिटी कैरियर्स जो है वो हॉल्स रहेंगे. ओके, सो आई थिंक आई शुड मूव अहेड.
One more question there in YouTube live. What is Fermi level? Can you explain it?
Fermi level is the, okay, let me go through one slide. Fermi levels will show us the tendency of the being electron, maximum possibility of electron. कहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रॉन मैक्सिमम रह सकते हैं? I have mentioned that in case of conduction, in case of n type of semiconductor, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है वो मैक्सिमम रहेंगे नियर द कंडक्शन बैंड बिकॉज इट हैज फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रहेंगे. तो वो इसके लिए हम क्या बोलेंगे कि मैक्सिमम पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ बीइंग इलेक्ट्रॉन इन विच जोन. फर्मी लेवल एक स्टेट बताता है कि जहाँ पे मैक्सिमम फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रहेंगे. और एन टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स जो है उसमें हम वो कंडक्शन बैंड के नजदीक देख पाएंगे, जबकि पी टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स है उसमें फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो है वो कंडक्शन बैंड में नहीं जाएंगे. हमारे पी टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर में लेक ऑफ वन इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है वहाँ पे एक इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है वो अनबॉन्ड है, पर वहाँ पे फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो है कुछ कुछ कंटेंट में हमें मिलेंगे. तो in p type of semiconductor we can find the Fermi level near the valence band. Fermi level is nothing else but the probability of being free electrons. Fermi level हमें बताता है कि फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो है वो मैक्सिमम रहने की पॉसिबिलिटी जिस जोन में रहेगी उसको हम फर्मी लेवल्स बोलेंगे. Any more questions, sir?
How can we increase the energy band gap?
How can we
Increase
sorry,
the or decrease energy band gap?
By adding or by using the doping we can vary the energy band gap. We can vary in terms of concentration of impurities. impurities जो है उसको हम बढ़ा के और घटा के हम उसको चेंज कर सकते हैं. And second thing is varying the temperature.
Uh, One more question, but it's not your topics. But someone asked that he is confused in depletion layer.
I think in next lecture where diodes will be there, I think Doriani sir will solve his or her problem. Since it is about to 12 o'clock, I have to move on. That I have used that much references. Mostly I have googled Britannica, Slide Player I have used as reference. Wikipedia has been a great source of or study for preparing this. And I have used textbook of 12th science of GSSTB. गुजरात बोर्ड की जो 12th साइंस की फिजिक्स की टेक्स्ट बुक है उसको भी मैंने यूज किया है. ગુજરાતના જે સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ છે જે અહીંયા ક્લાસમાં છે એમને ખાસ એક સજેશન છે કે જો તમારી આસપાસ કોઈ 12th સાયન્સમાં ભણતું સ્ટુડન્ટ છે તો એમની ફિઝિક્સની બુક જે છે એની અંદર સેમિકન્ડક્ટર્સ વિશે બહુ સરસ રીતે મેન્શન કરેલું છે. તો તમે એને ધ્યાને લઈને તમે તમારું સ્ટડી કરી શકો છો, કારણ કે તમે ફર્સ્ટ યરમાં જ નહીં પણ તમારા આગળના સ્ટડી માટે પણ સેમિકન્ડક્ટર્સ ઘણો ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ થિંગ છે, concept છે. So you can use the textbook also. So you can stay connected with us. And be at our blog. અમારા ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટનો અમારો બ્લોગ છે ફિઝિક્સનું www.physicsgandhi.blogspot.com જેની અંદર તમે કોઈ પણ તમારી ક્વેરી હોય તો એ તમે પૂછી શકો છો. You can have different materials over there regarding
Madam, one more question. Why the silicon material is used largely than germanium?
why.
Silicon is used largely than the germanium.
Hello,
Yes.
is it audible?
Yes.
Hello. 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 Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, madam, go ahead.
Okay. So you can be connected with us at this block. Okay. You can be at home and stay safe. I have, sorry, Gaurang sir, would you please repeat the earlier question? Hello.
Why we are using silicon material more than the germanium?
We are using silicon more because regarding its band gap. In earlier slide, I have mentioned that the band gaps of materials. In case of silicon, the energy band gap value is more, like 1.1 electron volts, whereas for germanium, it is zero point 0.7 electron volts. So, due to the reason of band gap value, we are using silicon more than germanium.
I think silicon is available largely than germanium also.
Yeah, quantity of silicon is also a matter over here. Easily availability of silicon is also the reason why we are using the silicon more than germanium. So thank you. And tomorrow at 11 o'clock, uh, Mr. S.L. Toriani sir of our institute and lecturer at Power Electronics Department will continue. Thank you so much. Stay at home, stay safe, and stay connected with us. You can share your questions and doubts on our blogs as well as in chat box. Thank you, sir.
Uh, Thank you, madam, for your presentation. If you have any question, you can ask in chat box or question answer box. Sir, Makona sir, have you any?
Yes, yes. No, no more questions now.
Okay, so I think we will wait for 1 minute if someone has any question regarding. Sir, किसी को
Somebody
कुछ question?
was confused in deflation layer, but it will be resolved in the next lecture.
Yeah, yeah. Many question is resolved in just like the whole in p-type semiconductor actually move. This kind of question is covered in next lectures. Someone asked about the concept of doping in semiconductor, which is already, I think, Sonam Kumari. Sonam Kumari has asked the question, the concept of doping in semiconductor. But I think it's covered in our lectures. Madam, can you please share that N type and P type semiconductor or doping slide? So he was she can.
Uh, Over here, you can see the doping. And due to the time constraint, I was little bit faster. So I'm sorry for that. But I was moving with time. But I have tried to cover the basic concepts of semiconductors.
One more question asked: does hole in P-type semiconductor actually move? Uh, this question will cover also in next lecture tomorrow around 11 a.m. Mr. S.L. Doriani will cover this question also. But madam, if you want to tell regarding
Sorry, would you please repeat it? Some bandwidth
does
problem
a
is
hole
there.
in P-type semiconductor actually move?
Uh, we cannot say that hole is moving, but yeah, its motion we can say. See, when electron is jumping, the motion we can say that it is moving, but actually hole is not a particle. It is just a concept. When electron is moving in opposite direction of the motion of electron, hole is also moving. It is the motion of electron which is creating holes. Electron is leaving free space and creating holes and moving ahead or forward. आगे हॉल्स जाते रहता है तो उसके आगे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जाता रहता है और उसके अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में जो हॉल्स है वो क्रिएट होते हैं. तो हॉल्स आर आल्सो मूविंग, बट इट इज एक्चुअली द मोशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन. Electron is moving and leaving the free space and creating holes.
One more question that what is electron drift or hole drift? Means diffusion and drift.
Diffusion and drifting are both different things. Drifting when we apply external electric field, whereas diffusion can possible when we dop semiconductors with impurities, or in normal sense also we can see the uh, motion or conduction of charges. We not all time need to apply the external electric field, which is called diffusion. The conduction of charge without external electric field is we call, uh, let me show you now. Diffusion of charge carrier, जिसमें कंडक्शन जो है इट इज कॉज्ड बाय द डिफ्यूजन ऑफ चार्ज कैरियर. चार्ज जो है उसके मोशन के रिगार्डिंग होता है, जबकि ड्रिफ्टिंग कब होता है व्हेन वी अप्लाई एक्सटर्नल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. डिफ्यूजन इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड भी हो सकता है, इन एब्सेंस ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड भी हो सकता है. व्हेन वी आर डॉपिंग the impurities in intrinsic semiconductor, you can see the diffusion. Or when we couple p type and type of semiconductor, we can see the diffusion.
Okay, ma'am, one more question that why we say that the hole is positively charged, but we know that it doesn't has any physical significance.
It does, it has the property of charge, like attracting negative charge, so we'll consider it as a positively charged particle, as charge, positively charged, not particle but positively charged, because it has the tendency to attract negatively charged electrons.
Okay, any question? I think no more question. So thank you, Purvi madam. I right now I invited Uh, we note, sir, to take the charge. Lot of thanks to the presenter. So I request Vinod Vakwana, sir, that can
Thank you, sir.
lot of thanks.
Webinar series was planned by the General Department, Dr. SNSS Gandhi College. Is today is first session और जैसा लगता है कि अच्छी शुरुआत हो रही है और प्रेजेंटर मैडम पूर्वी पटेल मैडम, she has done extremely good PPT with lots of animations and all that. So it may be wonderful for the students. See, within 1 hours or 30 minutes, you may not be able to get everything. You need to revise it again. But Madam has presented extremely good for us. So we must thank to our Madam. We also thank the host, Dr. G.S. Patel, General Department, Dr. Gandhi College, जिन्होंने ये सब प्लान किया, अरेंजमेंट की. Along with them, we also thank HOD of the General Department, Sri Joshi sir, as well as Principal N.S. Angani sir of the Institute, जिन्होंने हमको ये प्लेटफॉर्म दिया. और भी मैं दो तीन बच्चों का नाम लेना चाहता हूँ, जैसे कि गजराज हर्ष, जिसने एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर दिया था. मैडम ने पूछा था पेंसिल और ग्रेफाइट वाला, तो गजराज हर्ष ने भी कुछ आंसर दिया है. अंकुश कुमार ने भी आंसर दिया है. और थर्ड वन यशराज, जिसने थोड़ा डिस्क्राइब करके आंसर दिया, थोड़ा अच्छा वाला आंसर दिया है. So we also thanks for your questions and the answers from your side also. And the last, all the attendees and panelists for watching this session. We thank you all of you, and we are hoping that for the next two sessions tomorrow as well as next day after tomorrow, आप लोग सभी आए और भी थोड़ा ज्ञान ले. और आफ्टर थर्ड डे आपको रियलाइज होगा कि ये सेशन बहुत अच्छा है. So ultimately, I must say thank you, Dr. G.S. Patel sir, Guru madam, and all that. Thank you,
Thank you,
participants.
sir. Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much, Makwana, sir. Right now, ने वेबिनार सीरीज का सोचा था on the inspiration of you, sir, and I think so many faculties also joining us for today's webinar. I also thank them, especially more, sir. He is senior in our physics group, so thank you very much. And uh, tomorrow we will meet at around 11 o'clock with the new expert lecturer, uh, Mr. S.L. Turiani. He will deliver on the PN junction diode and its application. And on Friday, we have Makwana sir, and he will deliver us on the semiconductor and its application. Hope the remaining two lectures will also uh, useful for your learning, and you will enjoy this. So right now we will end this meeting.
All right, sir.
Yes.
Uh, the quiz part was missing.
Yes. One more thing that on the Friday, on last lecture of webinar, you will provided one link for the quiz, and you have to attend that quiz. And after attending the quiz, you will eligible for the E certificate. Otherwise, you are not eligible for the E certificate. So please attend the both uh, remaining lectures and complete the quiz. Uh, Sir, anything else?
It's all right. Now we may conclude.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much. And after the this end of this event, maybe you have one mail that complete the some poll regarding the our events. So, if possible, then complete the poll. Or at the last, as earlier told that please